China's role in EB-5, historical dominance, and future outlook. The EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program has long been a crucial pathway for foreign nationals seeking permanent residency in the United States. Historically, investors from the People's Republic of China have dominated the program, representing the largest cohort of applicants for many years. Understanding this historical significance and anticipating future shifts is vital for stakeholders in the EB-5 landscape. From the program's inception through its peak years, Chinese investors were the primary drivers of capital inflow. This surge was fueled by several key factors. Rapid economic growth in China created a substantial pool of high-net-worth individuals seeking stable investment vehicles and immigration options. The U.S. offered a perceived refuge for capital compared to domestic investment opportunities. Early adoption. Chinese immigration attorneys and regional centers quickly professionalized the marketing and application process targeting this demographic. The sheer volume of applications from China eventually led to significant processing backlogs, particularly for applicants whose visas were subject to annual per-country limits. This created a phenomenon known as visa retrogression. Visa retrogression meant that even after an investor's I-526 petition was approved, they might face years of waiting before a visa number became available, often requiring them to remain in a temporary status or utilize alternative visa strategies. While Chinese investors remain active, their dominance has noticeably waned over the last decade due to several structural and geopolitical changes. Increased scrutiny, heightened due diligence by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services regarding source of funds documentation for Chinese applicants slowed processing times further. Capital controls. Stricter regulations imposed by the Chinese government on moving large sums of currency overseas made the initial capital transfer more complicated. Rise of competing programs. Other countries, such as Canada and European nations, introduced or revitalized their own investor visa programs, offering potentially faster routes. The passage of the act brought significant changes, including reserving visas for certain categories. While the reforms aimed to modernize the program, they also introduced new compliance requirements that affect all investors, including those from China. For example, investors must now demonstrate compliance with new anti-money laundering standards, which can be particularly complex when tracing the origins of legacy wealth. Source of funds, verification, requires robust documentation tracing capital from initial earning to investment deployment. The future role of China in the EB-5 program will likely involve higher quality, more compliant applications rather than sheer volume. Regional centers must adapt their marketing strategies to focus on investors who can navigate the increased regulatory environment. Key considerations for the coming years include geopolitical influence. Changes in U.S.-China relations can directly impact processing speed and investor sentiment. Sustained demand. Despite hurdles, the underlying demand for U.S. residency remains strong among affluent Chinese families prioritizing education and stability for the next generation. Focus on direct EB-5. Some investors may pivot toward the direct EB-5 route to bypass regional center management, though this requires directly managing the job creation requirements. China's historical footprint on the EB-5 program is undeniable, having driven its capital growth for years. However, the landscape is evolving. While Chinese investors will remain a significant part of the program, the era of overwhelming dominance is over. Success in the modern EB-5 environment requires meticulous compliance, patience, and an understanding of the newly restructured regulatory framework.